Hello. Welcome to Korean Natural Farming Office Hours for June 25th, 2023. And I believe this is like office hour number like 85 or something like that. Like done 85 episodes means I've recorded 85 hours of office hours. So so if there's a question you have, maybe it's already been answered, but I'm happy to go in and discuss more and go further into KNF. I mean, it's actually one of the coolest things that I've found is that even after this much time, I've taught how many classes, how many things, I still learn new things. There's still more to unravel. KNF is just this infinite fractal of goodness and greatness. So I noticed my light's not on. Let me turn my light on here. Turn this bad boy on. Good girl, whatever it is. Oh, there we go. Light up that side of my face. I don't look so much in a shadow there. I'm not sure that really works that well, but yeah, thanks to Master Cho, Pure KNF Foundation, both those making it office hours come to you. And let's start off today with a little bit of higher wisdom and bring in the goods. So today, it's always interesting. Today is opposition. Misunderstanding truth creates opposition. There are many occasions in life which tempt us into negative thoughts. Anxiety about the future, mistrust of another person, bodily pain, fear of failure, or even success. All of these tempt us into mistrusting life and believing that life is against us. When we fall into this trap, we are in opposition to the workings of the creative, and success becomes impossible. The simple truth is that every moment in every person's life contains the teaching he or she most needs at the time. It's not always immediately apparent why a thing is happening, because the sage is often inclined to work in a roundabout fashion. Nonetheless, whatever is happening now, it is what must happen. Our only task is to trust the process and allow the lesson to seep in. This hexagram comes as a signal you are resisting life and preventing your own progress. Nonetheless, success is still possible, for every opposition carries within it the seeds of agreement. Cease resisting yourself, others, life, the sage. Let go of dark thoughts and aggressive actions. By returning to acceptance, neutrality, and devotion to the way of the sage, you dissolve the opposition within yourself and open the way for understanding and good fortune to arrive. Wasn't that nice? And I was definitely thinking about a little bit of opposition before I got here this morning. I was up late doing some good things, but coming this morning, and I was thinking about just, the Fed pausing the interest rates and all that. But, it's great to see you guys here. It's great to understand, what we are doing. I was thinking about it the other day, and I was like, man, I wanted to create a little booklet on Korean natural farming, just these tiny booklets, and hand them out to people, like tiny little stapled things that I can give out my own little propaganda, and explain just a few concepts like the exponential growth and all that. But it's good to see all you guys. It's good to have good friends in the chat here with me. And Cheryl tuning in from Stanley, Idaho. We got the Goof Man up in New York, and it's beautiful up there, and it's beautiful here in Hawaii. I tell you what, you can't argue with beauty. And stop this buzzing over here, my hard drive vibrating. Let me put the hot sauce on it. Yeah, that helped. What's up, Mark in California? I think you're still in California, I'm not sure. And yeah. And Willie down in New Zealand, and Ben, Arizona, South Carolina. I don't know where you're at. But one thing I did want to share with you guys here a little bit that's been on my mind lately, and it's sort of opposition here, but not really. Hey, what's up, George? Um, Latvia, man. Yeah, wow. Um, um, there's a whole genre of like YouTube folks out there. What's up? Buenos dias, Stargazer. All you and Marcus up in New York too. I hope you guys are doing well together. But I did want to share a little bit with you here, and this is just this podcast here, Peak Prosperity. And there's a whole genre of YouTubers out there that kind of are on the destruction type of thing, of like, oh, the end is nigh, Chicken Little. But this guy is one of the more reasoned guys, Chris Martenson. And he wrote the thing, The Crash Course, and he has the thing, Peak Prosperity here. And he has this Peak Prosperity community type of thing where he's kind of juxtaposing oil and energy versus honeybees and their energy in the stock market there. But if you're looking for a decent video to check into, I would check out on the videos here. He let out a good video yesterday, which was this one, which is this Peak Prosperity on energy. And it's basically his Peak Prosperity 2.0 class based on this. And, you know, this one, demographics, understanding the demographics of how the populations are getting older and how that makes like things like Social Security collapse. And then this one over here where it's on debt, understanding debt. He loves to say, let me turn on my little pointer tool. Let me turn on my little pointer tool and let me make it this color and bigger. And then so you can kind of see my mouse a little better. And then he has, you know, chapter this on wealth, understanding banking, money, you know, because these things, people think they understand them. But if you don't fully understand what he's talking about, which is basically the fundamentals, not these high level things, but the little ones. Yeah. And if you're talking about too many tabs open, definitely got a lot of tabs open, but that's just one window of many. So, you know, just saying, that's how my mind is. But definitely these ideas of understanding energy. But the thing is, I don't think he understands natural farming. And definitely you got to understand energy, how we're going to have less energy coming up. You know, it's just, and he was saying like, he thinks energy, we're really going to have it peak out by 2025 type thing. And, you know, it's always time-based prophecies have kept me from living, you know, and always casting time in with these dates and these energy shortages or collapses or anything like that are kind of hard. But if you understand that energy, like, you know, it's harder to get even as we inflate more of our money, and it's harder to get more energy. Just that alone is enough to understand that the way to get true energy is to go back to your primary sources, such as the land, the plants, the animals around you, the soil under your feet. And by using Korean natural farming, you know, especially Young-sung Cho's methods, like the green grass liquid fertilizer, and his newer ones that he's called different acronyms, but disgustingly cheap food, disgustingly cheap microbes, the names that I've given to him. Those recipes basically lower your cost and exponentially raise the healthier soil, raise the healthier plants, healthier animals, you know, all subsequently up the chain from the smallest to the biggest. So anyway, you know, in the face of opposition, and I was just thinking, I woke up this morning, I was talking to my dad yesterday down at the river while we're, you know, working on a hydroelectric system. And my dad, it's always funny. He's kind of he's into, like prepping kind of stuff. And so am I, you don't want to be a warrior you want to be a warrior in a garden, not a gardener in a war, right? So having the idea of being prepared. But he's talking about, CBDC coming and, basically we're all going to have, they're going to crash the economy and we're all going to have universal basic incomes, and that will lead to the central bank digital currency because you will gladly take this new level of control of the money supply being sent, cornered by the Fed. But the only way to avoid that is to become the Fed yourself by feeding yourself, by more than feeding yourself, growing your own fertilizer and getting sovereignty at those levels. And I saw Nate Hagens, the guy I talk about as well on podcasts, that he was The Great Simplification. He interviewed some farmer that was talking about sovereignty. So got to add that to my playlists here and get that going while I go down to the river and all that. But so anyway, yeah, my life is too many tabs. But lot always I wanted to start off this episode. I say a lot has changed, but I just wanted to make a pun to the Microbial Secret Society out there. But let's see here. Korean natural farming zines. Yes. That's all we need to get out there. I do the videos quite well. I mean, I've been showing up 85 hours, something like that, beyond that, of doing these, but getting information into people's hands where they can have something that's easily digestible, one idea they can just understand. Like, I want to write it about exponential theory and basically set up the idea that, if you understand exponential theory, you'll understand that if we're doubling, like if it's a constant, if it's growth with a percentage of growth, it then doubles on a certain time period. And that leads to exponential growth, and understanding that the last doubling period, you will consume more in the last doubling period. So say you double every 10 years or something, you'll consume more in the last 10 years than you ever consumed before in human history with the exponential growth. And I want to let people know about that because I think that's the greatest shortcoming of the human species in understanding true solutions. It's understanding the exponential growth and, what the implications and ramifications of exponential growth are. And then I want to end this by saying that, in the book, by saying that we can actually put out good exponential growth. And by spreading the microbes, you will spread more microbes in your last doubling period of spreading microbes than you ever spread before in human history. Meaning that if you put out JMS every day and you're doubling and you're adding more and more and more, you will put out more microbes in the last doubling period than you ever did before in human history, because all the microbes you put out there continue to grow, right? And so your last doubling period of putting out microbes, you're going to be the most efficient you've ever been at re-inoculating, at saving the earth, at bringing things back to life. So I really want to, explain exponential theory, but then bring it in with this huge thing of hope and prosperity, and not have peak prosperity, but have microbial prosperity. Maybe I should, call it that, and understand how these natural living systems we can get in harmony and in sync with them. And, it's just like if you're planting trees. Trees are exponential growth. And so your last trees, if you're planting at some growth rate, your last time you plant trees is going to be, you're going to plant more than you've ever planted before. So all these good things. Yeah. So, hey, Stone Mason, thank you, man. I haven't seen you for a while, and I'm sure you're there checking out the episodes, but thank you for super chats. Those are always nice. I appreciate them, especially when lately I've been, a lot more money's been going out than in, but, so anyway, I'm glad good communities here developing. Connecticut. There's one person in Connecticut that I could say to reach out to, and I gotta go on the gross Facebook here. But she actually created the Korean Natural Farming Facebook group. And this is, let me just see, she's a friend of mine here. And so let me transition over here. So if you're in Connecticut, definitely look up Glow. Okay. She just got married, but she actually, and there's Glow Monkey here. She actually started the Korean Natural Farming Facebook group, and she knows a fair amount of Korean natural farming. She lived at my farm for half a year maybe, and we did a whole bunch of stuff together. But if you're in Connecticut, I believe she's in Connecticut, so look her up. It's facebook.com/glo.clairdl or DELUNE3.3. So I think you can see that. I don't know. I can zoom it in right there. But Glow Claire de Lune 3 with a few 2 periods in there. She's cool. She's awesome. She actually started this Korean natural farming group here on Facebook. This one, which I check in once in a while. Not really. See, it's stuff like this that. This is the one reason I don't use Facebook, because there's things like this, right? Like, who the heck even watches these videos, right? Best videos. It's like, what are you posting this in the Korean natural farming? So remove other, ban them, get rid of them, confirm. This here too, again, what? I can't believe, funny, like, ban this person, right? Just drop the ban hammer on them. But there's a reason I don't use the Facebook, because there's stuff like this in here, and it's like, oh man, you got to contend with all these bots all the time. And again, one of the other reasons I don't use this is because it's the same question every time. Oh, that looks gross. That was anaerobic. Would not use that IMO. But always interesting. Again, spam. Why? Come on, get out of here. Let's see what else. Yeah, this IMO looks decent here. Should I use it and end up getting rained on? It all depends if it's mushy or not. Gross kind of fungus growing. But anyway, she started this group. I've been maintaining it. I think now at this point, what does this thing have? Something like, let's see here, group growth, no, group quality, no, growth here. 38,000 things viewed in the past month. That's wild. 16,000 posted and commented. So and this isn't in the month. Yeah, I guess that's in the last month. So there's a wild amount of action in this thing. But Facebook is such a terrible platform. I mean, the one thing that's nice is it connects the world, but the thing that's bad about it is, like, it's just the same question over and over and over and over again. So not that I want to like hate on that and be like, oh, da-da-da, but let me open a new tab and let me pull up KNF support. And this is what we, the Goof Man has been working on and I've been working on. But this one, you can just search and find like FPJ or something and look, and you'll find that, like, you'll find a whole bunch of things where it's answered, and the best answers, it's actually verified that it was answered. The best answers are at the top. Can you overdose with FPJ? Like, everyone wants to know that, right? And here it is. Here's the answer. Overdosing with KMS is similar to overeating, right? And Sue's answered this one too. So community of experts, KNF support, been working on that. And that's my alternative to the Facebook, even though I'm the admin of the KNF group on Facebook. This thing, this thing here. See, again, spam. What the heck? What the heck? And maybe I gotta actually refresh it, but it went away. But yeah, and no spam in the other one. But yeah, and the best answers pop to the top. You actually have a way of vetting your answers, instead of just someone telling you read the book. um, you know so anyway, building the community, building these things, doing these things. That's what I've been up to this past week too as well. Been finalizing the details on getting memberships together, linking 3 different websites together with OpenID, or OAuth 2. So if you're a nerd and you're into that kind of stuff, that's what I've been doing. Trying to help build the community, trying to get into there. So anyway, I don't want to just talk too much, opposition. What can happen? It must happen. The Facebook must be junk in order for other things to evolve, right? And if you focus on the junk, you'll never find the solution, the seed of solutions within the good, right? And it's not 100% junk. I don't want to throw out everything and be like it was junk. It's a good thing. And how many people are in there? Let's see. There are, if I look at this, there's 36,739 people. So, and people from all over the world. I thought was kind of interesting. Let's look. One last thing here. Engagement. Is that what I wanted? The popular posts. No, I wanted to find out. It's funny. Popular times, popular days, the posts. I wanted to find participants. Maybe is what it is. Here's the top people. Rakesh. All these top people. None of them that I know of are good natural farmers. I don't know. And by good, I mean, I don't know if they've ever taken a class or done anything. And for the first time in a long time, Hilo used to be the top city of contribution, and KL used to always be the top. But now Ho Chi Minh City, Vietnam, and Phnom, Cambodia, and Vietnam. Not to say not anything against Vietnam and Cambodia and those things, but because I haven't participated in this group as much. Let's see what Rakesh is putting. Yeah, see, this is what she's putting in there. Free hot girls video images. Like, yeah. Not, So, and then let's see, Oba'a. Let's see what they're putting in. Okay, this one they updated the cover photo. It looks like they're actually maybe a legitimate person. It's into God. Let's see, Nguyen. I don't know how to say that. Let's see, you can't even look at them. They're maybe banned. Richard banned. So the top posters in the group are now folks that are probably scamming stuff, or banned, or, it's just gone to heckin'. It's gone to heckin'. Bork with the heckins. And so I'm not sure this person is an actual legit person, but what they're contributing to the Korean Natural Farming Group does not seem positive. Let's see what this person's putting in there. No post available. I'm just going over the quality of the Korean Natural Farming Group. So that's why you're seeing all that. I'm just showing that it's gone to heckin' crud. So all the top contributors in here are junk, versus if you go to KNF support here and you look at the top contributor, it's one of the guys that's in the chat here. Oh, how do I see the top contributors? How do I see the top contributors? I gotta log. Oh, you know what? I gotta log in. If I log in, and I can log in with the Pure KNF Foundation now, baby. This is what it took me. Oh, it took me so long to make this happen. But I get, oh no, wait. Oh yeah, because this is logging into the Pure KNF Foundation, pureknf.org. Submit my consent. Single source of authentication, because I can log in from and then boom, now I'm logged in. And I get to see the top expert here this month, the Goof Man, right? He's in the chat. And it actually isn't set up by month, but man, look at this, 497. You can look how many answers. He's asked a few questions. Apparently I didn't answer him here, or nobody answered him. But I tell you what, you look at his answers, And man, look at these great contributions he's been making. He's our top guy in KNF support, is all I'm saying. That, you know, look at how many answers. He's put up 90 different answers here, and they're all super high quality answers. You know, freezing fruits and plant matter and all these things. Like, so he's not just posting pictures of ladies doing weird things. He's putting up quality natural farming answers. So just showing you the difference in the communities there and what makes the difference of what, you know, you build a community around something specialized instead of this general tool. And while one goes to heckin', the other goes to quality and better. So yeah, the goof man blushing out there because you're the man. Like, this is so cool to see how much quality things are put out there of, you know, who's doing it, you know, and here's our expert reputation. You know, the goof man has answered more questions than I have. I'll just have you know that. You know, I put out the office hours to try to do that. And then we got Danny French here and Joe LaRusso. I don't know, he's here today, maybe. But you know, folks out there in the community helping out, answering questions that are high quality, that aren't just spammy things, that are getting, you know, well, I don't know if this is the most high quality answer, but heckin', man, this is where it's at. So, you know, and this is how you get reputation, by voting answers up, voting them down, submitting questions, submitting answers. You can get all those answers there. So, so I'm just saying, I'm not trying to spend too much time on this, but just saying there, you know, high quality communities do exist. And man, I drank some OHN this morning. My wife was a bit under the weather. I drank some OHN and feel my throat going. And I tell you what, man, waking up and drinking like vodka with herbs in it, my body does not like alcohol. It's like, oh, I gotta choke it down. I diluted it pretty darn well too. And I drank it, but still I can feel that alcohol in my belly. And I'm like, whoa. You know, being allergic to alcohol and then trying to drink the KNF medicine. It's like, oh my gosh, it's not even, sometimes you can't get better or more healthy or anything. So, yeah, Stone Mason been out on the adventures, but missed you guys. Missed you too, man. He messaged me saying that he was out skiing, out enjoying, I think, the last of winter, which is now summer. But all kinds of things. So, yeah, so trying to keep the community roots, but trying to build it better. And now you just saw me do the single sign-on. So we will be shortly having this where you can get a pure KNF thing here. We're working out, ironing out the last details. I got the technical stuff pretty much ironed out, but you'll see that we're ironing out the technical details to make it so that you'll have a single sign-on. So if you create a account with the Pure KNF Foundation, join a membership there, you'll be able to go to KNF support and our community, which I don't want to get too ahead of myself because I'm still, it's like I'm almost there to launch, and it's like you're getting a soft opening here, but I want to have the full opening where we bring this to you and everybody and bring in high quality community to everybody, where it's just like, super simple, integrated in, good questions and answers, good community, good way to share with, interact with each other. Besides just this, where where you can be here in the YouTube chat, but it's so we gotta have something where we're like, yay, we find each other. Besides the Facebook, where it's not all spammy and junk and gonna be, trolled by an AI and everything. So, yeah. So anyway, thinking, planning, prepping, everybody, and Western Australia in the house, and Northern Michigan. If you're in Northern Michigan, you should check out my friend Mogli. Again, I gotta go to the Facebook here, but he's doing some hemp stuff. He's gonna be integrating in Mogli, the Chandra guys, these guys, this guy here, if you're in northern Michigan, you got to check out Mogli. He's doing hemp, and he's going to be putting the what you call he's going to be putting the IMOs in lab. We're kind of doing a science experiment right now to put that into his hemp bedding product that he's putting out there. So Mowgli, super cool dude. He's in Ganges, Michigan. I don't know where that is. Sounds like it's in India, but you know, look at that funny meme. Plant diverse fruit forest or pick mulberries, right? You know, you know, U.S. acres hemp license. Oh my gosh, it's going down. The hemp is not going. Wow, I didn't realize this, that the hemp is going down. Yeah, putting OHN, the KNF medicine in the milk. Good idea. You know, see, this is the thing that I miss about not being on the Facebook is that I don't learn these interesting fun facts and these things because I basically don't engage with it anymore. Obviously, I still do have an account to be the admin at the KNF group because I didn't want to lose that asset. It's like, you know, 36,000 people. It's like it took a while to build up. Even though Glow started it, I just inherited it. But you know, but I try to avoid that thing, man. It's pretty toxic in a lot of ways, more than one. So what I guess what I want to do with you guys is transition over to. Oh well, you know, I may as well open one more tab, and may as well plug my class coming up. Because if you are interested in coming to Hawaii in November or January, I do have classes open. I still have a few spots available for both of these. And there's always plenty of spaces to come to camp. And there's always, I can always kind of make more spaces to come in if you want to just take the class and not stay here. But space is limited to stay on the class or stay on the farm. And it's well worth it. It's good fun. Great people showing up. So knffarm.com if you want to come by and learn here. May as well plug this thing because, you know, it's really, you want to, you know, get certified in pure KNF in Hawaii. And more than that, it's build camaraderie, do these things. You get a fancy orange hat and a certificate and all that good stuff. And stay on the farm with us and enjoy. So may as well plug that while I'm here. And then I want to transition over to this, which is Master Cho, picture of Master Cho. I don't know where I would be without this man and his teachings and his things that he's been given to us. And I'm just trying my best to translate, make it easier, make it more digestible, bring these ideas and concepts to the world. But you know, wish him the best, all the love out to him and his inspirations to me. And let's dive into his presentation. And I'm going to drink a little bit more of this natural farming stuff here. Trying to keep myself going good. There we go. That's mostly milk. But we're on slide 244. That means we've been going over this for more time than you ever knew was possible. And previous episodes are at KNF support office hours. You can look at the end. Table of contents are coming along, so you can always look at Master Cho's presentation there. Search for that. Find this. We just finished up the pigs. I was showing how that, you know, traditionally a bunch of antibiotics are used, and with natural farming, you don't need it. And with natural farming, they actually produce the hormones against stress, which lowers their ability to have disease. And we went over the pigs last time, where this is like how they traditionally do it. If you've never been to a pig farm and you're eating bacon, and it's not local and it's like commercial. This is what's happening. Versus if you do natural farming, they're in their natural environment with all these beautiful pigs, and it's so much more humane. Like I said, it's all based around harmony, respect, and welfare, right? And so today, let's dive into the chickens, because I tell you what, having pigs is a big responsibility. I've been raising pigs for the past 12 years, 13 years. I don't know, since a long time ago. I've been raising pigs, which last time I also went over how I got into natural farming, which I could do more of. And I think I might after this show a little bit more of my experience. But pigs are oh man, if you have a lot of food waste, like Mao was asking the other day, he had this restaurant that had food waste. Like if you have a lot of food waste, you're a big farmer, you got a bunch of culls and things, then get pigs. If you don't have a bunch of food, then don't get pigs. Pigs are, oh man, they produce the best IMOs on earth. Don't get me wrong. Like their output of the IMOs and the bacon and the piglets, they're the most fun animal probably to have and to own and to play with and to have just this mutual respect with, but they eat a lot. And if you're not ready for that, start with chickens. You still get pretty decent IMO out of the chicken coop. So today, let's dive into chickens, which is much more approachable for most people. To have a dozen chickens on a small place, a few, 3-4 chickens, they can eat your compost, your house compost waste coming out, all these things. And the least favorite thing about raising pigs is when they get out. Man, my pigs are so happy they come back in. I'll just be like, hey, 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 and they'll come back in, and they'll just go right back in. They love their pig pen. But yeah, I did actually, I brought a pig over to my mentor, John, the other day. Not Ginger John, but John Orlano. And I gave him a pig, and my pig that I gave him escaped and ran away, and he'll never find it again. Yeah, one of my pig had babies, which, by the way, we still have one pig up there that is, we kept Gigi. So I still do have one little baby pig. She's actually fairly large now. But I just love the baby pigs. Nothing better in the world, in my opinion, than the raising baby pigs. And getting into this where, again, this is same as the pig presentation, but this harmony, this respect, and this welfare. These are the three principles. They're kind of based on each other, that when you have good welfare, it's because you're respecting the pigs and then you're working together with them. And they're kind of, this is what makes these things up. They work both ways: harmony, respect, welfare; welfare, respect, harmony. And so he's saying harmony of the environment, meaning that you're working with nature, meaning you're aligning the pig or the chicken barn so that the airflow works, new air comes in, the soil floor, everything like that. You're respecting your livestock's natural urge, meaning that for the chickens, they're not, they're able to scratch and peck, and you're respecting their, the amount of hens into roosters so they can build social order. You're building the pen the way they want to go, so they're not tripping over things. They're not dying. What's up, New Jersey? And and again, all that leads down to welfare, which is the livestock barn's structure to fit the livestock properly. You're giving them the right amount of home, not too big, not too small, just like Goldilocks, just right. And you're raising them in the proper, raising space. All these things combine to make just like animals that are happy, that are smiling, that are not trying to escape, that are content, that you interact with. So again, just like the pigs, it goes back to the barn, and you try to put your area where you're going to have, where you locate your building is super important. Are you just going to put it, like you got to put it where there's, it's good for sunshine. It says fine for sunshine and ventilation, meaning that, you get good access to the sun. You don't want to put this in the shade, in a big shadow where the sun can't come down and hit the floor, where it can't heat up the roof to get the circulation going. You want to put it where there's good sunshine and good ventilation, right? You need fresh air. Fresh air is one of the biggest things for you and for other animals like chickens. Firm ground, obviously, you want to build on a good foundation with good drainage. You know, that's actually one of the problems of my barn is that when it rains, and when I mean it, like it rains like hurricane type rain, you know, because it'll rain like, 2 or 3 feet a day here in Hawaii. Like it'll rain. And sometimes my floor will flood. And so I should have mitigated that because I kind of built it like this picture here. Mine has a little hill above and a bunch of water will flow in there and it will flood. However, I did create a hole on the backside so that when it won't now flood and fill up, water will just it'll flood through. And it's not that big of a deal. I'll come back with lactic acid bacteria, the KNF protectors, put those down and refix the floor and get it back to life and living. It's also good to have a fine view and fresh air. You want your chickens to look at good things. Mine look out at the Pacific Ocean and they see, it's beautiful for them. And there's also a lot of fresh air coming down during the day, the ocean or the wind typically comes right off the ocean, and at night it comes down off the mountain. So really nice for them. Silent and maintaining good quality environment. Obviously you don't want to put them where there's a ton of noise. Chickens like peace. Although a farm that's busy, you do what you do. So all those things are the condition of the ground. Next is the direction and arrangement. Again, you kind of want to orient your barn so that it can take the most advantage of about 20 to 30 degrees off of north. And I think this is for the northern hemisphere. It's probably the same for the southern hemisphere, but same idea is that, basically when you do that, what happens is in the east in the morning, the sunlight it comes in deeply, right? So the sun is going to rise in the east, which I guess is over here, right? And the sunshine comes into the barn, heats it up. In winter it's warm, but in the afternoon it's cold. In the west, in the afternoon, it's hot. So this side of the barn on the east side is hot in the morning. And then in the afternoon, this side of the barn is hot. And sunlight shines deeply into that side, so you can get the sun to come in both sides. And then the south, sunshine does not light on the barn deeply because the sun's altitude is higher in summer and warm in winter. But I guess this is opposite if you're in the other hemisphere. And in the southern hemisphere, I think it's northern hemisphere biased. And then in the north, the sunshine does not light all day. And the north is always colder, right? There's always more snow on the north face, and it's cold in winter. So your south side will get heated up more. So basically, if you pay attention to how the sunlight and it's going to traverse across the sky is going to change throughout the seasons, you can design your barn so that it really takes advantage of the sunlight energy. And then, and Jared is spraying LAB, the KNF protectors, in the chicken pen while they're out and walking in the garden right now. That's so awesome. Taking good care of chickens, man. Nothing better than that. The eggs are delicious, and then we usually hatch a bunch and we'll kill the roosters and eat them, and then keep the hens and make more eggs. So here's an example of Master Cho's ideal barn. And, you see his curved roof, but the main thing is you don't need this curved roof, build, like we have a Conway greenhouse that's just a straight roof. You don't need this curve, but the curve is ideal because as the air blows over, it'll suck out more air. But the main thing is that from the ground up till the chicken's nose and from the ground up to the pig's nose, there is an opening on your sides. You do not want to put a wall up here on the sides. You want this to be open because what happens is the air will then be drawn in here at the bottom, and this will take gases like ammonia and whatever and all those types of things. Those gases will come out, and then if you leave a slit in the top of your roof here where the sun will heat up the roof, that hot roof will heat up the air here, which will then the hot air will want to leave because hot air rises, and the hot air will be drawn out And what'll happen is cool air will be drawn in and the hot air will rise out, and it will cause this ventilation to happen. And you can see this in action, where you can walk into my barn. It'll be hot outside standing out here. You walk into the barn and it's cooler inside. So this idea where the cool air is drawn in and out and up through the top. And this metal roof, you don't want to insulate it because the metal roof is heated up from the sun, and that's what draws out your air. So this is his ideal barn setup, and that's what he has there. Here's another look at it of, the poultry house. This is, again, I think that says east. And so this is the south side. This is south. So on the south side, the side that's facing your sun the most, which I guess would be opposite in the southern hemisphere, but on your south side, you do want it so that the sun, the entry is this way. This is the east, that's the west, right? And so your south side will have the opening where the chickens will come in. And this can open on the south side so that the sunlight can go through. And if you don't have a retracting roof, again, that's okay. I don't have one either. I'm not, it's expensive. But here, this farm here, I went to this in Korea. This is an example of, this is the south side. This is the chicken pens. They're all in there. These are the chickens here going in. And I actually went to this chicken farm. So let me show you here. Let's see here, YouTube. You can go down to my channel there. I'm just going to go to my channel here. And let's see here. So transition this back over here. So I went to that chicken farm. So if you scroll down on my channel here and you go down to demo farms in Korea and example tours, I reckon this chicken farm, let's see, let's put this back here. And let's see, here it is. So right here, pure KNF commercial egg laying chicken and natural farm. This is that chicken farm here. So I'm gonna mute that down here. And you know what? Let me make this like that so I can hear that. But this is that chicken farm here. So you can see all the chickens inside. They have these auto feeders, which, this guy's kind of, he automated it. Master Cho would tell you that's wrong. But this is that chicken farm. So here's walking outside of it, looking at it. And inside of each of these, they have 120 birds. These are their small ones. That's their hen box that they'll go in eventually. But you can see they still have their original brooder house. So these are younger chickens that he's going through and looking at. And then, what is this? This is egg cleaning operation inside. So he was, with a few people, he was able to collect all the eggs, wash them all, do some sophisticated things. But let's go back to the chicken pens themselves. Let's see here. Yeah, so this is looking at, there's the hen laying box. He has some auto feeders coming down, the water trough on the backside. But this is that chicken farm. So if you're curious, that's what it looks like up close. You can watch the video, see more details on that. Thank you for the super chats. Oh, cool. Makes it nice because I've been doing some fun stuff for natural farming. So that's where it is. You can see that in the video on my channel, down on the Korean, demos in Korea, and then that playlist, and see those there. We've eaten eggs raw at multiple places. There's other chicken farms that I've been to. Mr. Lee's farm, where the quail farm is, which there's another chicken farm, since you mention it, Mr. Lee's farm. So if I go back here from this, and I go back to my channel here, let's turn that off there. But if I go back to Mr. Lee's farm, is it on here? So, yeah, the quail farm. Ooh, maybe it wasn't there. This is before he even built his quail farm. This is what it looked like before he built it. Wow. So this the quail farm was running, but this was his chicken farm. He built it before. Wow. This is some classic stuff. And then if you go back, but if you really want to find, Mr. Lee's stuff here, it's also on these basic Korean natural farming courses, on the basic poultry. If I view all these, and I go down to, here's his poultry farm. Oh, this isn't his barn building, all that, but on this one, there's a bunch. I mean, we were basically in this thing. Here's his farm a little bit. Let's see here. Are we inside? We might be going to Muju. Do we go to Muju? Yeah, we went to Muju. Okay, but let's go back here, actually. Let's go back to this one. Let's find out where... Are we actually in the chicken farm? I know we went in there. Anyway, it's all over in here. Not this one. Let's go to this one and see... Did we go to the poultry farm? Yeah. No, this is the government learning center. So we started there. Wait, we didn't go. We had to. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, here is Mr. Lee's. So all these, again, kind of a different setup, but all the chickens here inside, same type of thing. 12 by 24. Pen actually mine's 14 by 24 pen that they're in. Let's see here. Do I get a better angle? There we go. There's a better angle of looking in. So again, they're roost in the back. They're things. Mrs. Lee feeding the chickens. She throws out a little bit to psych them out, so they'll run. Throws some in each thing, and then she'll dump most of the food into the deal. But the chickens get so happy when you feed them. And that's Mrs. Lee. She's an amazing woman, running the farms here. And then so she goes in with that little bucket to kind of distract all the chickens, and then they come in with the main feed, and then they'll fill these up. Is that Oma doing that? Oma, you're so good. But she'll, so that's Mr. Lee there, and he's probably gonna feed these. And Mikey, what's up, Mikey? Shout out to Mikey on Oahu, Mikey Baskuk. So I think Mikey's gonna feed him, huh? Wow, what a privilege. But looking at these, oh, you know what I can do? I can make this a little bit bigger for you guys so you can see. But Mrs. Lee pushing this around, bringing in their main feed, kind of distract them with a little bit of feed first, and then using this dustpan or shovel thing. And she's speaking Korean. And then there's our water here, so you guys can see this a little bit. But she's putting it all into their feed thing there. I think he's explaining the water a little bit. There's that guy. And yeah, so there's Mikey feeding the chickens, And this is how they're fed each day. Doing that. So anyway, let's get back to the presentation here of this. Going a little long on that, showing you some videos and doing that. But the basic characteristics of the natural farming. There's convection, meaning there's good airflow, so they get as the building moves the convection through. The sunshine. Chickens love to do sunbathing. They love dust bathing in the sun. If you watch them in the morning, they'll lay in the sun and dust bath themselves. And then the ground management, there's the floor is natural. It's not just concrete, right? You're putting them on natural where they can dig down 6-8 inches into soil and living floor with good microorganisms, and proper raising space. When you raise them properly, where the chickens can run back and forth, and they're not just like locked still. Their organs develop better, and they get less respiratory problems, and they have better intestines, and they can digest better with their crops. And so they have better organs and better frames of the chickens. Most commercial chickens are grown where they can't even move, or they're put in a cage where they can't move at all. The egg-laying hens, they're locked in a small cage, and they can't get their organs don't function well. It's like a nightmare. Imagine you were locked in a small little room and couldn't move around. It's like The commercial stuff is pretty gnarly, but all these things together, when you do that, adds to livestock welfare, right? And if you have, you're thinking of them, and then they're going to perform better for you, be happier, and you're just a better quality human being when you're taking good care of animals. And so again, the characteristics of natural farming, it's all about reducing production costs. Other people think they're reducing production costs by locking chickens in small things and putting them all in a dark room and doing this, but they spend tons of energy on it. Versus you give them natural things and a living floor, and they'll utilize their manure as a feed. As it's digested on the floor, you'll reduce your feed cost. Plenty of feed resource training organ. So if you get their organs to be better because they can run back and forth, so they're better intestines, they will utilize more of the feed that you're giving them. Their digestibility index will increase. So they're getting more feed per feed unit. You're getting a better digestibility index with better organs in them. You'll save cost by antibiotics and medical cost because they don't need antibiotics or vaccines, because they have good airflow. They're not in a disease-causing situation, so you save money there, and you're utilizing natural farming materials, meaning that material, because you can actually feed them like grasses and things like that. And by fermenting their feeds, you can use all kinds of what would be waste products and turn them via the power of fermentation and microorganism digestion, turn them into good foods for your chickens. So all those things add to reducing cost, and you'll actually, it's on par, if not cheaper, than doing it, the way they treat like nightmare chicken, like Tyson food type stuff. And so again, characteristics of natural farming, it's labor saving, right? Because you don't have to clean your chicken pen, right? Which they don't clean them anyway, but they're so disease ridden and so gross that after they're done with a batch of chickens, it's like, oh. And then you got all that nightmare stuff coming out of there that's just like manures that are just like super over nitrogen and pathogens living in them. And so you don't have to clean or remove the manure. You save labor on there because it's just digested on the floor. You can leave chickens living in the same space for like, my chicken pen's like 15 years old. Since 2012, the thing was built. So whenever that, I don't know, is it 10 years, 11 years, 12 years old is what it is. And eco-friendly, no wastewater, no odor, no noise is way down. Reduce damage from insect. You just don't have these problems that you would get. And there's, eco-friendly, there's no wastewater, no odor, no noise. Before I get into this chicken feed, because it's really going to be a larger topic, and I'm looking here, I'm just going to give you a little preview because we're almost at the end of the hour. And instead of jumping into the chicken feed, I'll just leave it as a cliffhanger for next time but basically we're going to get into the feed, what to feed them. I'll go over the feeds, how to do feeding them egg yolks, feeding them all these things, how to make their brooder box, how to brood baby chicks, how to go through all this, their water pipe, their feed boxes, how they go, what they do, their laying boxes, perching, all these things. So, and when you have the layer chickens, they're in harmony. They're really peaceful with each other. And if they're not, you put them in a small jail until they get better. But we'll go over all this. And here's the egg. Here's that egg that you can pick up, go in there. Comparison of the yolk colors. And so we'll go through all this, and we'll cover broiler chickens as well. All this, and more. So we'll go over those next time. Maybe we won't get to the whole thing. We'll probably, try and cover as much as I can, but that's coming up. So if you are interested in more raising chickens, be sure to tune in next week. It's a good thing I looked at it today because I'll kind of augment that. And here I just want to share one last thing, if I can find it. one last thing. Let me see here. I know here there was an egg thing where it wasn't this one. I took a little break and I ate a raw egg and I almost vomited. I wanted to share that bit with you, that little clip, but I don't think I can find it. Maybe we'll start off next week's with that. So anyway, I want to thank you guys for tuning in all over the world, coming in from, from New Zealand to Idaho to New York to Latvia. We got a global community. We got good people doing good things. Thanks to Master Cho here. I could also bring up his picture over there. Thanks to Flat Eric chilling behind me. Thanks to the Pure KNF Foundation. Map of Soul. You always got to have a picture of your soul behind you. But anyway, doing good things. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for being part of the KNF community. Thanks for growing it. Thanks for teaching people where you are. Thanks for spreading the good word. Thanks for being a good human being, because I know you are. Even if there's opposition, this is a lesson you're supposed to learn for some reason. But appreciate you all. Thank you. I'm going to switch this over to this one here. And then, long live the natural farmer. Aloha. Love you all. Aloha. Bye now.